All right, it's been no secret. It's been an offseason to remember for the Browns. From the signing of Deshaun Watson to the fallout with Baker Mayfield, we've seen both the highs and the lows.
And one of the men calling the shots is Browns general manager Andrew Berry. News 5's Camryn Justice sat down exclusively to talk with him about the culture he says he's been working to build. Camryn?
Yeah, Courtney, over the past 2 years, we've seen Andrew Berry and the Browns make real strides in terms of diversity and inclusivity. We talked about that work and why everything that has changed in this organization this offseason, his goals haven't.
Bringing in people with different backgrounds, different ideas, and making sure that they all had seats at the table.
Diversity and inclusion has been a focus for the Cleveland Browns over the past 2 years with Andrew Berry running the front office.
I always felt like it was good, not just because it was the right thing to do, but it helped make better decisions. And so it was just something that I wanted to bring and emulate if I ever found myself in a leadership position.
His early days overlapping with the George Floyd protests and social justice movement.
For me, it was just kind of one of those moments that experienced something that was probably a little bit bigger than football.
Do you think that the impact that you've been able to have with your personal experiences has helped shape the way that this organization values what you are aiming to do?
I would hope so. I would hope that as long as I'm fortunate enough to be in a leadership position, you can do more good than just try and build a good football team.
From the fostering of minority coaches through the organization's Bill Willis Coaching Fellowship.
Ashton Graham was our first Bill Willis Fellow. Israel Wolfork, he's our second, and we've seen those guys continue to grow in our organization. Who knows? 10 years from now, we're seeing them, running their own NFL teams.
To staffing Catherine Raish, the highest-ranked female NFL executive, Callie Brownson, the first woman to coach a position group in a regular season game, and Megan Rock as Berry's right hand during the NFL draft and free agency.
Look, the NFL's not all the way there yet, but I'm thankful that perhaps the gender biasing is starting to erode from the NFL fabric.
The past 2 years have had a clear focus.
We really believe in having diverse perspectives, diverse staff. We want our blind spots to be covered. We want different perspectives, and that's a big part of it for us.
That includes after the trade for Deshaun Watson. I asked Berry how his goals of creating this more progressive culture weighed into the decision to bring Watson in.
You have to weigh the on-field implications, the off-field implications, how it may be perceived internally, externally. So absolutely that was a factor in terms of weight in, but like I said, we feel good about the decision and feel good about the culture moving forward as well.
Because he says the ultimate goal of diversity and inclusion is still top of mind.
I think that if you can create an environment where individuals they're comfortable, but they're challenged, and they grow both in terms of their skill set on the field and then just professionally as individuals. I think that that's something that we've set a good foundation for. We're not all the way there in terms of where we want to be, but we're hopeful that that'll have a compounding effect over time.
Now, at the end of the day, Andrew Berry knows that fans will hold different opinions of the organization, but they want to give that fan base something to be proud of.
Camryn, we do know this is only part of a much larger conversation that you had with Mr. Berry, so there's more to come, right?
There is more to come. Andrew Berry also told me about how they value diverse voices in decisions like the Deshaun Watson trade and how they plan to continue the work to create a more progressive culture. I'll go deeper into that and the rest of my exclusive conversation in the Browns postgame show on Saturday night.
All right, Cam, we look forward to that. Thank you very much. Be sure to stay with us here at News 5 for all of your Browns coverage, including the Browns preseason finale against the Bears. Comes up Saturday night. Again, coverage on News 5 starts at 6:30, then the game, and then, as Camryn said, that live post-game show.